With the release of Boruto 2 Blue War 6 Chapter 9, many questions have risen up. How strong is Jura? Even Daemon, who has not gone all out, and how strong is he? How strong is Boruto? So many questions. But, one thing popped into my mind. What would be the best case scenario to show Jura as a threat? One of the main things that we saw in anime as a whole is when you introduce a really strong guy, especially in terms of Naruto too. The first time Pain was introduced, to make him seem like a really big threat, they had to kill Jiraiya, right? Someone who seemed to be, untouchable at that point of the story. So I thought, what if Kishimoto goes with a similar route? But not with someone that we have a sort of connection with, but someone who is sort of villainous, but at the same time is not also so much villainous, and that is Daemon, to show off Jura's full power and also maybe Daemon's full power. And how did I come to this conclusion of Jura versus Daemon happening? We'll talk about that as the chapter goes on, and we'll discussing TBV Chapter 10 discussion, prediction, and maybe even potentially spoilers. So let's begin. So first of all, let's begin with the fact that we all agreed that Damien in general showed interest in Himawari, right? He deemed at her as one of the people that could give him a challenge, one of the people that, if trained enough was, strong enough to beat him or whatever, at least strong enough to give him a decent amount of challenge. So the thing is, will he save Himawari in order to get that challenge? There's like a huge iffy situation because he might not give a singular fuck, but he might also save Himawari. But the second form is if Kawaki gets to know that Himawari has been kidnapped, he might contact Ada and tell her to help him, and she might send Daemon after Jura. And if that does happen, my goodness, we're gonna be seeing a fight that is worthwhile. Like TBV, obviously we have had tons of fights till now. But none of them were thrilling in a sense that it was close. All of the fights that we saw were mostly Boruto's, or maybe like even a bit of Shinju, but most of them were pretty much one-sided, with either the Shinju completely dominating or Boruto completely dominating the fight. The only fight that was sort of close was Boruto when he was facing the Shinju, and even then Boruto sort of ran away because he was not able to face all of them at the same time, which is fine. But the thing that we have to really consider is Boruto right now is above Code, who without his limiters is said to be stronger than Jigen. Whether that Jigen is the Jigen that defeated Naruto and Sasuke, or that Jigen is pre Ten Tails chakra Jigen, because if you guys remember, Jigen did absorb the chakra of the Ten Tails before attacking Naruto and Sasuke, or fighting both of them. So he did get a bit of an amp. It was not like that was all of Jigen's strength, right? He was buffed at that time. So is Code stronger than that Jigen, or is stronger than normal Jigen? What I think is Code is stronger than the Jigen that fought Naruto and Sasuke, meaning Code is stronger than Naruto and Sasuke combined, meaning Boruto, who completely dog-walked Code, is stronger than Naruto and Sasuke combined and reaching the power tiers of Baryon, both Naruto and Ishiki, right? And Daemon was confirmed to be weaker than Ishiki, but stronger than Jigen, is somewhere near that power tier as well. So if we really want to show Jura as a huge threat that cannot be stopped by even Boruto, the best decision will be to make him fight Daemon and really showcase Jura's full capabilities and power. Because of how strong Jura is, he might be able to figure out a way around Daemon's ability of reflection as a whole, and might be able to defeat him. And if that does happen, the entire tone of the series is gonna change. Everyone is already scaling Jura above Ishiki, which should be, relatively fine because Jura is the new villain and the new villain should surpass the previous villain. So that should be the case. And if Jura is stronger than Ishiki, let's just be honest, Daemon, he might give Jura a really good fight, but he might not be able to cut it. Or the second option is Daemon fights Hidari. Now this is a really interesting one. Imagine if Hidari, of all people, Hidari defeats Daemon. And when that happens, oh my god, the hype for Jura is gonna be next level. Because now we for sure know that Hidari is weaker than Jura. So if Hidari has already defeated a threat that is above Jigen and below Ishiki and also stronger than Limitless Code, then how strong is Jura? Because Jura is definitely stronger than Hidari. So it bugs up the question, okay, what the fuck is going on here? Who is actually stopping this Shinju? And maybe that might be a bit of a wake-up call for Kawaki as well. So that, okay, I need to get stronger. And maybe I cannot beat these guys alone. So he might need to work with Boruto in order to beat the Shinju. Which really does make sense because, Kawaki's real goal is to protect Naruto. And once he gets to find out that Jura is specific is after Naruto's life in particular, he might consider the possibility of working with Boruto. And if that is the case, it's going to be lovely. I would love to see both of them work together. But, like Kawaki is going to get in Boruto's way if he really tries to work with him right now because, the power gap is that huge. And the second thing is Sarada. Because in the previous chapter, we did see Sarada rushing towards the scene where, the explosion happened of the Tinsel's bomb towards Hidari and Jura's location. So the real interesting question is, okay, since Sarada did rush towards both of their location, is she gonna fight Hidari? Because Hidari's main question or main goal is to consume Sarada, as Jura's goal is to consume, similar to how Jura's goal is to consume Naruto. So the real question begs, if Sarada appears in front of Hidari, will Hidari just let her go? I think not. I think we're about to see a fight between Boruto and Hidari. This is my personal prediction in what's gonna happen in like 3 or 4 chapters. We're gonna see a fight between Hidari and Boruto. Boruto is gonna be protecting Sarada, and then we're gonna see a fight between Daemon and Jura, in which Daemon is gonna buy enough time for Himawari to escape, and maybe he'll get defeated in the process in his battle with Jura. And Boruto, I believe, will also be defeated in his battle with Hidari, because Hidari is undoubtedly the second strongest Shinju out of all of them. Right? The bug Shinju was able to press Boruto. So the real question is, okay, if the bug Shinju was able to press Boruto, can, Hidari press Boruto? They already had one exchange where Boruto used his Rasengan and Hidari used the Chidori, with Chidori being a weaker jutsu than the Rasengan. And because if you guys remember in the final valley fight between Naruto and Sasuke, Sasuke had to coat his hand not only in the Chidori but also Amaterasu in order to match Naruto's base Rasengan. So that really just says something about the Rasengan simply being stronger than the Chidori. If Hidari's Chidori was able to match Boruto's Rasengan, then it's saying something because, obviously Rasengan is stronger than Chidori. And Boruto is using probably Rasengan Uzuhiko. So that also says something. Now the next topic that I want to approach is Sarada versus Hidari. Right, so, we know that Sarada has unlocked their Mangekyo Sharingan. And, she probably has some crazy abilities. But what are those crazy abilities that she has? We really don't know. So, it would be a really nice showcase of power that Sarada can do in order to show that she has grown in power and strength by using her Mangekyo against Hidari, if possible. But again, Sarada, even with the use of her Mangekyo Sharingan, probably can't defeat Hidari in any shape or form, right? So now the another topic that I really hear in the topic flowing around at this time is Kurama's comeback. Obviously, a huge thing. Well, all of us wanted Kurama's to come back, but the way Kurama came back is rather strange because Daemon obviously sends Kurama inside Himawari at some time, right? So the thing with this is that Kurama is weaker than the Ten Tails that came before him, and that Ten Tails was weaker than Jubi Madara, and Jubi Madara is weaker than Kaguya. Kaguya is weaker than Fused Momoshiki. Fused Momoshiki is weaker than Ishiki, and probably that is weaker than Ishiki, and Kaguya is also weaker than the likes of Limitless Code. So, Damon, who absolutely dog walked Damon the Limitless Code, sees Himawari as a future rival. That may be implying something that this Kurama might actually be different than the Kurama that we knew about. And the reason is because simply basic power scaling, Kurama by himself should be absolutely no match for Daemon. The Kurama that Naruto had, was the full version of Kurama, and he could not do anything against Jigen. So it only makes sense that this Kurama would not be able to do anything much against Daemon as well, who's much stronger than Jigen. So it's really concerning to the point where how we know what kind of power that this Kurama has, or is it something else that Daemon sensed to the Himawari that by combining it with Kurama's power can give him a huge or give her a huge boost in power that even rivals the likes of Daemon. Now, another thing is this Kurama remembered the memories of his past life in a way, you could say. And honestly, I would say he probably does. I think Aisubu, the Jinchuriki of the Three Tails, remembered all of his memories after his death. Yagura did die, right? Yagura did die, and then Ishibu was born again. But then again, after we see all the Jinchurikis being controlled by Obito, it looked like Isabu knew who Yagura was, and that's why they were able to cooperate so well. Again, that could be because of Obito's control and whatnot. But I do genuinely believe that Kurama does remember all of his memory. The personality may be a little bit different, but he did ask, Himawari, "Do you know me, little girl?" And people have said that obviously she knows him, he's Kurama, and Naruto has talked to her several times, but maybe he just wants to confirm it, right? Because he doesn't look the same. Kurama is supposed to be this big bad nine-tailed fox, but right now he's just a baby little fluff toy. So maybe because of that, Kurama just wanted to confirm it with Himawari if she knew him or not. So that could be it. But then again, even if Himawari does gain control over the power of Kurama, will she really be able to do anything against Jura? I don't think she'll be able to defend herself. Daemon, Boruto, Kawaki, someone will have to step in, I know, at some point of time and defend her. So, that's what this whole topic is even about. We really think that it's gonna be Daemon who is gonna be the one to defend Himawari because Ada ordered him, because Kawaki was asking Ada for help or something, or maybe even Boruto was asking Ada for help, and maybe since he has shown interest in Boruto in the recent chapters after he talked with Mitsuki, maybe Ada once since he wants to impress Boruto or something, she sends Daemon after Jura, and then maybe she regrets it, and since Daemon might fucking die. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But what do you guys think is gonna happen in the next chapter of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex chapter 10? Comment down below, and while you're at it, also like this video and subscribe to the channel. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.